And so tonight's practice, mainly feet and leg, but of course in the body, nothing exists in a vacuum. And therein lies a lot of our conundrums. We have pain one place and we think it must be where the issue is. It may be, but maybe it isn't. So if I just walk around just a little bit and listen inward, listen to the messages that your feet, your legs want to share with you, and anything else that wants to get you attention too, for that matter. And then we'll come to a standing still place. And as you stand in your comfortable stance, first notice, again, are there anything that your body wants to communicate with you? And then begin to draw a little bit more into your feet. How is the weight on your feet? Is it forward? Is it back? Are you listing to one side? Do you have more weight on one foot than the other? Which means that that side of your body may be holding some more tension. A lot of neck and shoulder thingies, not all of it, but originates below. So that's why we keep coming around and around and around. Notice your ankles, that hinge joint that has a little bit more mobility too, from side to side as you keep your feet flat and rock back and forth. I'll turn from the side so you can see what I'm doing. Your ankles are negotiating that. And then come to rest of that place where there is ease. So weight down through the heels, or maybe just slightly in front of the heels. And then have a little chat with your knees. How are your knees feeling? Notice, does one hyperextend a little bit more than the other? Then, of course, we travel up, quads on the front, hamstrings on the back. And these are the main groups of muscles, the quads, the hamstrings, and then the calves. When our balance is a little off, and if we're leaning, our calves and our hamstring can become really tight because they can become structural integrators. They're trying to keep us upright. It's not really their main job. Ideally, we want to stand so the weight of the skeletal draws down through the bones or the joints with very little effort muscularly. With that said, let's walk to a wall and we'll start with our calf releases. So I'm standing out about almost 3 feet. So I'm leaning slightly back, a straight line from shoulders through hips, through heels. And I don't want to go any further back where I can comfortably keep my heels down. And we'll start just straight on ahead as you inhale. Let's lift the heels, lifting the heels up. With the knees being straight, we are talking to the big calf muscles. Let's count them down from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Bottom of the feet relaxes into the floor. And then Charlie Chaplin feet. Take the heels together and turn the toes outward. So fanning the feet out. And then lifting up as high as is comfortable. So again, no strain. Avoiding pain. Always be willing to back off. And we'll count down from here too. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Draw the toes back in, heels out. So shy feet, very shy feet. And we lift again, as high as is comfortable. And of course, you don't have to follow my count. You can do your own count if that feels better. I'll count from 12 again. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. We'll bookend it with the first one we did, feet pointing straight forward. On an in-breath, we lift again. Feel the contraction of the back of your lower leg, the calves. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's walk the feet in and stand. Pause. Notice the bottom of your feet. How are they feeling now? Did anything change? And while we're here at the wall, we're going to take care of the hamstring. We're going to do a separate set later on, but we can do it standing, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to take my hands, I'm about a foot away from the wall, and I'll take my right leg back just a tad, so I get room to release it. And I'll start by bending it up, bending the right leg up. And we'll release that on a count of 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we are all the way down. I'm going to take the right leg in and pause. Hamstrings crosses over two joints, the knee and the hip. Breathing in and out. So we're going to do the other side. Take the left foot back a little bit. I'm just using the wall for support. I'm going to bend the knee up again. So I'm moving against gravity, keeping the hips still. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All the way down. So something that you can do for this one here is you can stand up on a block. I didn't want to do that tonight because one concept at a time, but that allows the leg to hang down completely. Walk around a little bit before we sit in the chair because we're going to move on to the quadricep. But can you tell that your hamstring got a little bit more length? You can do this several more times. So because we're going to do it again later in the practice, we're only going to do it one time standing, which means we're ready to come to seated. So I'm sitting in a chair and my feet reaches the ground. So I'm going to elevate my leg so that it can dangle. If you're sitting high enough, you don't need any elevation. So sit in a comfortable way, and we're really just looking to entertain the quadricep right now. Just slowly straightening your right leg, straighten it all the way up. Feel the quadriceps have now fired. Firm around the knee. Let's count that down. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hang. Take a breath in and out. So it's really tempting to begin to use the other hip flexor, the twin, the psoas, to help the leg lift. So keep the leg very firm on the support. Let's do that one more time. As you inhale, we'll straighten the leg out, just using the quad. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it hang. Let it hang completely suspended. This helps open the knee joint. When the hamstring and the quads are tight, it literally sucks the shin bone up and closes the joint. So we're just creating a little bit more space. But while we're strengthening the joint too, we'll take the block out if we're using it and just pause. Feel, sense. Does one cheek sit a little lower? Maybe there's no difference. We are going to go to the other side. Again, supporting. Everything hangs. Only muscle I really want to talk to is my quadricep. We'll inhale, straightening the knee. Extend. And then 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hanging. Easy peasy. Everything releases. And then as always, if it feels safe, it can be really beneficial to do these releases with your eyes closed so that the awareness is full on inside. Let's do it again. Straightening the leg, paying attention that you're just firing the quad, not the lower abdomen. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Letting go. All the muscle released. We're going to move the block out of the way, the chair out of the way. We are ready to come onto the mat. I invite you to come onto your back. And start with your legs straight. Just for starting, just to check in. That checking in is really powerful. What is touching the floor? Are you listing to one side? What sensations are present right now? And then let's slide the legs up. There's Sally. Welcome. Bending up the legs. And you can place the hands on the lower belly if that helps. Just to draw the awareness that we are moving the abdomen on the in-breath. So as you breathe in, belly gently expands. And as you breathe out, the belly relaxes down towards the mat. If it feels really restricted, straw breathing can be tremendously beneficial. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's kind of like blowing out a birthday candle very delicately. So let's do a few rounds of that, breathing in normally through the nose. And as you exhale, purse the lips and then blow out through the pursed lips. The diaphragmatic breathing, according to the Ayurvedic philosophies, is the breath that governs the first chakra, Muladhara. The first chakra is also what governs our legs. So we need to have access to the diaphragm, which makes good sense because the psoas connects. Do it one more time. Straw exhalation. And then go back and notice as you breathe in and out again through the nose, did it change? Did it release? Help release a little bit of a tension that might be present in the diaphragm, preventing it from contracting fully. It's a muscle like any other. It can get stuck. And let's begin to move into our arch and flatten. On an in-breath, contract the low back. You can keep the hands on the abdomen. You can relax them to the sides. Slowly float back to neutral. So we are going to go into the Big Lebowski right out of the gate. At neutral, let's take a breath in for nothing. And then as you exhale, hollow out the belly. And the in-breath returns us to neutral. Let's take a buffer breath before we repeat the entire sequence. The in-breath initiates the arch, belly expands, and the first out-breath floats us back to neutral, controlled and even release of the low back. Take a breath in for nothing, and then flattening on the out-breath. Hollow out the belly. And releasing this on the in-breath. And again, let the breath relax. We'll repeat this one more time. Inhaling and arching. Gently release. Allowing, inviting the release, but not forcing. Breath in for nothing. And out breath. hollowing out. Draw the abdomen in and up. And letting go. Releasing the legs out long and pause. Pause and breathe. We'll bend the knees back up. And then we'll move through the arch and flatten, but now just one breath cycle for each. And we'll invite ankle movements. So as you inhale next and gently arch, lifting the heels. And exhale, slowly release, heels back down. I said that backwards. I did. Scratch that. Let's do it one more time. Inhaling, arch, lift the heels. Exhale, moving right into the flattening and lift the front of the foot. Going back and forth between arching, lifting the heels, and flattening, lifting the front of the foot. And this way we are now matching the entire front seam and the back seam. As we contract the front of the shins, we are contracting the lower abdomen. We contract the back of the calves, and we are contracting the low back. We'll do that just one more time. After the flattening, let's relax the feet. Pause. And then we'll work a little bit more with our foot. I really like this one. I like all of them. But this one is, for some reason, really satisfying for me. So the feet are bent up. Heels are about as close to the hips as comfortable for your body. Let's begin by slowly sliding the right foot out, feeling the texture of your rug or your blanket. And when it's almost out, when the toes wants to begin to lift up, we'll lift the front of the foot, flex. And then curl the toes down towards the floor and slowly lower the foot down. Once the toes are down, let's slide the foot down. And then lift the heel once you are in. Slowly release the heel down. Because the knee is bent, we are now working exclusively with the deeper calf muscle, the darn soleus. So let's repeat on the right side. Slide the foot out. The soleus only crosses the ankle joint, not the knee, like the gastroc, the big one, outer one. Flex the ankle up. And then curl the toes down. Slowly lower the foot. Sliding it in. Continue at a pace that's comfortable for your body. Once you come in, we're going to lift the heel. Release the heel back down. Smooth, steady movements. No pain. Sliding out, flexing, curling the toes. Lowering the bottom of the foot, draw the foot in, and then lift the heel. Spread the toes, heel down. 2 more times, sliding out. Flex the ankle. Flex the toes down. Lowering the bottom of the foot, sliding back in. One more time. Sliding out. Flex. Curl. Lower. Sliding back in. Lift the heel. Lowering down. Now let's slide the legs out and pause. We worked on one side. I'm always really curious about what that does for my body. Sensing right leg, sensing left leg. How are they different? Was it beneficial? Did it make no difference? I suggest we move on to the other side. I'm bending my knees back up, keeping my right knee bent up, and then beginning to explore the left, sliding it out. Flex, curling the toes, and lowering down. Sliding the foot back in. Lift the heel, squeeze the calf, and slowly release down. You might like to take a buffer breath in between so that it doesn't become rote repetition. That's one of the pitfalls in this movement, somatics. Slowing it down, allowing ourselves to rest, provides optimal conditions for the motor cortex to sort things out. So move at a pace that feels slow. Slower than you think is the advice from Sarah Warren. But smooth. Continuing in an easy way. With kind and joyful curiosity, a term that the Feldenkrais practitioner likes to use, and I think it is an interesting description. Curious, kind attention. Do it one more time. Sliding out. Flex the ankle. Curl the toes. Lowering down. Sliding in. Lifting the heel and then releasing. Pausing. Sliding the legs out. Notice your feet, your ankles, lower legs, knees and thighs. And now we'll play a little bit with the eversion and inversion. So I invite you to again to bend up your left leg And we'll start with the right. And bending up of the left knee just allows us to keep our sacrum a little bit more loose, or low back, so we're not overarching the low back. And then dial the bottom of the foot towards the midline. Inversion. Slowly relax this. And we'll go in the opposite for the eversion. Leading with the big toe, and then we let go of that. Pausing at the middle. Inversion again. So inversion, if you're a good supinator, gonna be easy. If you tend to wear your outer heels the most. But if you're wearing your inner heels, eversion is where your ankle is used to hanging out. We're going from side to side. Can you sense your medial and lateral side of your shin contracting? Medial midline when you are inverting, when the bottom of the foot is pointing towards the midline. Slowly release. And then eversion. And release. Letting go. We'll swap out our feet. We'll go to the other side. And gently move again. Inversion. Bottom of the foot rolls towards the midline. Releasing the contraction on the inside of the calf. And then beginning to explore the eversions. Now the outside of my lower leg. And slowly release. And notice, is there a difference between this side and the other side? What might that be the cause of? So I always cramp more on my left when I work with the foot and my leg. I've also had a lot more trauma on my left leg and hip. So there is definitely an imbalance. So I back off, I move slower. And over time, it gets to be less and less, but it's a slow dance. Let's do it one more time to each side. And then we'll let go. Letting go of the right leg. And rolling the legs in and out. Let them roll in and out. Like swoosh, 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 swoosh. There's any residual tension held. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to roll over onto the right side. As we come onto the right side, for a side curl. So this lateral seam of the body, the fascia here, controls the feet too. So y'all know this one very, very well, she said in her best English. So we're just going to go right on into it. Let's put our headband on, knees 90 degrees, hips at 90 degrees. And we'll take a breath in for nothing. And as we exhale, lifting, head and heel by contracting the side waist. And slowly release. Let's take a buffer breath here. So drawing ribs to hips and hips to ribs. Breath in for nothing. And exhale. Contract the whole side from armpit to hip. And everything floats up. And we slowly release it down. Buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And when you're ready, on the out breath, lifting. And slowly release down. Do it one more time. Breath in for nothing. Use the out breath. Contract. No strain in neck. Just supporting the head. And take the arm down. We'll take the leg out in front for the iliotibia release. So stacking the hips one on top of the other. And now we're going to talk to the whole outer seam. So feel that hip bump. It travels right over that tube below the knee. Flexing the foot. And we'll take a breath in and lift the leg. About maybe half a foot or a foot. And now you can come down quicker than my count from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down. Take a breath in and out. It's a heavy lever, not a big muscle. We'll do it one more time. Breath in, let's lift. Feel the muscles on the outer hip contracting. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Bend up the leg. And let's take the hand again behind the head, and we'll take the right arm out in front. So we'll do our diagonal curl too, so that we get the entire rotational fascia line included. So let's inhale, sort of a spunky arch. And as you exhale, side flattening, contracting, derotate up to center. Head is supported, little lift, and then slowly releasing back out again. Back of the head rests in the palm of your hand. Let's take a buffer breath. And we'll repeat. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, derotate. I didn't do the arcs. So again, drawing the ribs down towards the hip. So I'm getting the upper part. So I'm getting the external obliques in particular, slowly releasing back out again. Buffer breath. We'll do breath in for nothing. And exhale. Derotate. Contracting the side. The head pulls up and releasing back down. And then I'll slide onto my back and pause. Pausing, sensing my body, left half and right half. How does the brain see them? If you were to draw a picture of your left half of your body and the right half of your body, do they look the same? We're going to bend out the knees and we're going to roll over onto the left side so we can get our sides to match. Supporting your head with your left arm or pillows or blankets. So if it's more comfortable to bend your elbow or supporting it on something else, remember, always, this is your practice. Don't suffer with pain. Knees are bent 90, hips 90, and we'll go right in, headband and everything. Let's take a breath in for nothing, and exhale, contract everything from armpit to hip, pulling ribs down towards the hip. All right, lifting the leg, it's coming up, thank you, Sally. And slowly release the contraction. Everything floats down. Waist lengthens back out. Buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, contract. So that is what initiates a contraction. And then heel and head follows. They have to, they are attached. And we release back down. We'll do 2 more times. So here's our buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And on the out breath, begin the contraction. And let body parts float up. Slowly release. Breathing in and out. Let's do it one more time. Breath in for nothing. Contract. Contract. Ribs to hips. Squeeze the ribs together. Close the gills. And let them come back out long. And once you're down, just relax the top arm down. We can take it again to the hip as we extend the leg out long. Keeping the hips stacked and leg neutral, a tendency to roll the hip down towards the ground, so keep moving it back. And on the inhalation, we'll lift the leg and we feel, oy, oy, oy. And again, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Everything go. So next week, we'll be playing with the clamshell with the knee bent, because that helps us work on the gluteus medius and piriformis, and also maximus to some degree. But today, we really want to talk with the IT bend. They get so tight. On the next in-breath, lifting. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Let it go. We'll bend the knee up again. And this time, take the right hand behind the head, slide the left out in front. And we roll the right shoulder towards the floor. We'll take a breath in. You can do that little arch if you like, but as you exhale, contract to derotate back up to center. Facing nose and knees traveling in the same direction. Ribs towards the hips. And slowly releasing back out. So on this one here, we give the lower the leg a break. Once down, buffer breath. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, contract. Derotate. Maybe a little side bend. We get both actions of the oblique. And slowly, controlled, releasing back out. Buffer breath. And again. On the out breath. Derotate. And releasing back out. I think we did 4 on the other side. So we'll do one more. Breath in for nothing. And exhale. Derotate. The obliques turning on. And then we say release, release, release. On the out breath. Letting go. Buffer breath. Release your right hand from behind the head. And then take the left arm up. We're going to roll over onto the belly. And for the hamstring repeater. So here you can keep the head up. You can rest the head on the back of your hands. You can turn the head to one side. And your upper body is really comfortable. That is, if you can get on the mat for feline company. Having the tops of the feet centered, so the legs are not rolling out or in. Straight back. Pressing the hips down. We're going to bend the right knee and take the heel towards the tush. Heel close to the tush as you can get. You feel the hamstring is now engaged. We'll count that down. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Rolling the heel in towards the midline. So in this variation, it's a little easier to get access to the different muscles as part of the hamstrings. Because we got one on each side, lateral, medial, and then the center one. With the toes pointing out, heel pointing in, pressing the hips down, again, bending the knee. So your leg will now cross a little bit over your left leg, but keep the hips down and even. And we'll release this down from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Everything moves. And with as little effort as possible, roll the thigh opposite. So now heel pointing out, toes pointing in, but hips are down and even. And we'll bend the knee up again. This time the leg is going to be going out to the side a wee bit. Feeling the muscles contracting to facilitate this. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Letting go. Let the leg come back to neutral position. Breathe in and out, sensing the back of the right thigh, the back of the left thigh. And we'll move to the left. When you're ready, hips pressing down and bend up your left heel. And keeping the ankle relaxed. Just the hamstring. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Letting go. And then turning toes out, heel in. So a little rotation. So many muscles connect legs to pelvis, the hip joint. Oh, busy. Let's bend it up. Keep the hips pressing down. Feeling the muscles contracting more on one side than the other. So when there's an uneven pull from the hamstring, the knee joint becomes imbalanced and wears unevenly. Let's release from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Letting go. So the hamstrings is 2 separate things. Bend the knee, lower part, and extend the hip, upper part. Really nifty mobility when we walk. Let's roll the leg opposite. So now heel out, toe in. And then let's bend the knee. Bending it. So it will drift out to the side. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting go. Do both. We'll bookend it with both of them together, pressing the hips down. Let's bend the knees, both of them, pulling them in, pressing the hips down. And slowly, slowly, slowly release. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting go. Letting go. Let's tuck the toes under. And we'll finish with our Cobra Crocodile. Creep the toes. I need to come up a little bit. Toes towards nose. Press the heels back. The quads are now engaged. And as you inhale, lift the head, lift the heart. Hips pressing down and draw the belly button up, up, up. Towards the heart. And let go. Letting go. Do that one more time. Tucking the toes. Press the heels back. Legs firm. Everything to midline. And then gently press the arms down. Draw the belly button up while pressing the heels back. And we let go. Letting go. Gently rock your hips from side to side. Then I invite you to roll over onto the back. This will be our bookend to check in from when we started. The focus on the legs tonight. But of course, nothing exists in a vacuum. Now I invite you to bend up the knees. And take your time rolling over onto one side. We've been down for a long time and hopping up could have an adverse effect on blood pressure. We'll use the arms and the hands to help us sit up. So minimal effort for the spine. And let's close by chanting the mantra for peace. Peace in our world, peace in our lives, and peace in our hearts. Bring our palms together. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti 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 Om. May you be well. Namaste.